Hello, everyone. This is an informative podcast that we're determining the definition and the target of our perspective about the identity of this global issue of the climate change. In that format, in two episodes, is getting the develop of a monologue as an individual report of the climate change that have a diversity of the topics in that issue. So, welcome to this program named Earth, that is set of an historic happening that international groups lead for decrease the climate emerges. Episode 1: The importance of the caring. The program Earth have a model concerning against the climate change for have the sustainable development for obtain a decrease of the gases emissions of the greenhouse gases effect and adapting of the impacts from global warming that can provoke the alteration in the weather balance that can thus that is the extreme condition causing a destructions of ourselves, such as floods, drugs, and fire through the environment. The climate change could also give us a disencadenation of problems in the earth that were becoming into a crisis that thus coming the disturbs and the quality of life. The principal factor that disturbs the ambits of the climate change is the consumerism, because the statistics were giving the results that were changing the earth. The activities are included as burn of fuels, pollution, and the greenhouse gases effects. This is a problem that affects all of us, of our living beings. The consumption could increase the depredation of the natural resources that affect the future generations by factors of the low quality of people's life, named low per capita rent, because the lack of the resources and the loss of biodiversity that maintains the most important resource, the water. The caring of the natural resources for use by a controlled way, because through the climate change could also cause humanitarian crisis, because there are zones that have an extreme conditions obligating to immigrate by a low per capita rent. Also could damage the economies, because the natural resources are so important for establish an order in the economies, going to blowing up, leaving the industries for alter the costs and the production. Coming to unemployment and the worst of the inequality, coming the poverty around the world. Episode 2: the recognition of the climate change. The purpose of this speech is to recognize the importance of this problematic. That's not a minimum problematic, if not a problem that affects all of us as living beings, coming to damage some that the living beings suffer the poor conditions. This can be defined as a problem environmental as the degradation caused by human activities with a high intensity of the consumers. Even the things seem bad and without the conscience as well, the caring of the climate change could also beneficiate the conditions of our planet. The programs of caring to reduce the pollination and the burn of fuels that disencadenate the greenhouse gases effect, for make a conscience that give us the security to all the society, more sustainable and balance the climate, for control the consumption, either than recycle for maintain the raw material and reduce the residues for maintain the natural resources, and a high level that does give us an expensive biodiversity. Without the natural resources, disasters caused for impulse the society for those luck that there is not a plan B planned. So, goodbye and thanks for hearing this informative podcast of the climate change. There are some podcasts of the of the world that tell us the problems in the world in space. Thank you so much.